Discover China. From the city to countryside, courtyard to farming land. Where there are Uyghur people in China, there is Mukam. Where there is Mukam, there is music, dancing, and feasting. Discover China brings you the music of Homeland Strings. Oh my Mukam, because of you, this world is no longer lonesome. Mountains no more of boredom. Vast yellow sand eases its frowns. What is woken up by song and music of Mukam? This is the real world, our very own, filled with youth and love, with both sorrow and hope. This is life. This is us, alive. All because of Mukam, my forever Mukam. Bleak songs from afar resound over the vast Gobi Desert and the wild sweeping wind. The folk artists who make their living from Mukam art are called Masters of Mukam by the Uyghurs. These artists travel between deserts and oasis all year round to perform. For Uyghurs, these artists are the embodiment of music. They bring their song and music wherever they go. They drive away pain and sadness by bringing joy and happiness. In the ancient times, Xinjiang was a part of Turkestan. Its unique geographical condition gave birth to a peculiar art form called Mukam. Looking at the map of China, the southern parts of Xinjiang are mostly covered by huge sandy areas which encompass a few basins and oases. Along these oases, there formed a belt of Mukam music. Connecting these basins and oases with the Red Line, it's surprising to find that this is a musical road that entirely coincides with the ancient Silk Road. As early as 2,000 years ago in Turkestan, ancient countries like Kucha, Khotan, Kocho, and Icho had a grand musical style which combined singing, dancing, and instrumental playing together called Da Chu. Later, through the Silk Road, came both the culture of Western China and the Central Plains. They converged and blended in this land extensively. The grand musical events of that ancient time could be viewed from the unearthed relics and statues from Buddhist caves. The musicians performed with various instruments, such as the kugo, Chinese lute, bamboo and panpipe flutes, and their facial expressions are still vivid. During the Sui and Tang dynasties, the Turkestan Da Chu started to develop into a form involving both instrumental music and dancing. The Kucha musical was the representative of this art form for this period of time. But in the 10th century AD, Islamic culture came to Turkestan. In fact, the word mukam derives from Arabic, meaning a style arisen from the Arabian literature. After the 12th century, mukam gradually replaced Da Chu and was introduced to the Central Plains via the Silk Road. Although Uyghur mukam experienced its evolution over 2,000 years, it still retains the unique form of Da Chu to this day, which combines singing, dancing, and music into one performance. For Uyghurs, 12 is a lucky number. The ancient Uyghurs advocated the 12 zodiac signs, and they even named a mukam song 12 Mukam. Mukam can be likened to the 12 brightest stars in the night sky. It is the most moving piece among the Uyghur songs. However, one cannot talk about the 12 Mukam without mentioning Yarkand Khanate, a Turkestan country in the 16th century. The man who established Yarkand Khanate, Sultan Sa'id Khan, played an important role in promoting the Uyghur literature and culture. His successor, Rashid Khan, was even more enthusiastic about the artistic development of this art. On one occasion, King Sa'id Khan made the acquaintance of an artistically talented country girl named Amansia Khan. He was so moved by her poems and musical talent that he married her, making her an imperial concubine. After she came to the palace, together with the first royal musician, Qadir Khan, she collected folk mukam pieces from the countryside. Later, she sorted, classified, and developed them. She also replaced the folk lyrics with poetic verses, and thus produced the 12 Mukam. The 12 Mukam consist of 12 suites with 3 parts each. The first part is Tsong Nagama. It means Da Chu or Grand Carol, the prelude of each suite in Mukam. Its melody is elegant and grand. second part is dastan, meaning epic. Its main substance is Uyghur historical stories and folk narrative poems. The third part is mashrab. It means a gathering or a party. This was originally a dance of the sacrificial ceremony held by a shaman, but now it refers to a mass entertainment event. (1680 AD) brought the end of the Yarkant Khanate. The 12 mukam created by Amansia Khan spread from the royal court into the countryside along with the dismissed royal musicians. Her standardization of the 12 mukam was like collecting little gold pieces of music and melting them into a gold brick. Thereafter, 12 mukam became representative of Uyghur mukam, and Amansia was regarded as the queen of mukam in the Uyghurs' hearts. Through the expansion and circulation of hundreds of years, mukam developed into various styles in different regions with diverse characteristics. It traveled along the oasis of the Silk Road, crossing the Kamul, Turfan, and Tarim basins, and numerous others. The Kamul Oasis was the eastern gate through which the Silk Road entered Turkestan. It was also an important terminal where the Kansu Corridor, the Mongolian Plateau, and the Tarim Basin from the east, the north, and the south respectively met for westward travel. The grand and luxurious costumes in the performance of Kamul Mukam came from an obvious sway of the Han and Mongolian cultures. In addition, the performers used bunches of flowers as props. They passed the flowers to the audience as an invitation to dance when they are tired. This style of Kamul Mukam shows the influence of a passing flower game from the Tang dynasty. running, and pecking. The acts are all sourced from countryside farm life, vivid and distinctly lifelike. The liveliness and colorfulness of the act are often hilarious. Turpan Basin, located 150 meters below sea level, is sometimes counted as one of the furnaces of China. The famous Flaming Mountains are located in the basin. Like the fiery hot weather, Turpan Mukam has a blazing melody, simple and lively lyrics with exaggerated dance moves. The dancing in Turpan Mukam, called Nazirakum, originally emphasized the satire of the unfair phenomena of life, but now it has transformed into a comic expression of tears and bitterness in the Mukam. It manifests the innate personality of optimism, honesty, and generosity of the Uyghurs. Is a regional mukam with the most primitive features. The natural voice of unadorned singing has a figurative term, that of to roar. Singing is actually roaring and vice versa. While a complete set of mukam will take 24 hours to perform, a suite of Dao Lung only lasts for 6 or 7 minutes. In such a short time, when the song is not sung but roared with wildness and power, the impact can be overwhelming. In all the various mukams, if 12 mukam is said to be royal, polished fine music, Dao Lung mukam could be called plain, raw folk music. It remained almost entirely intact throughout the ages and has retained its own original characteristics. Dao Lung means living in a group. The Uyghurs who lived in the many oases along the Yarkant River called themselves Dao Lung. Most of the Dao Lung Mukam was called Ba Ya Wan, which means desert, indicating Dao Lung is the music that comes from the desert. Of the desert, love is always the theme. Perhaps it is because the dry desert needs nectar and a broken heart needs comfort. Such simplicity and wildness blended into the thunderous and vigorous melodies make for extraordinary music. No one sings like this or sings in such a high pitch with a wild abandon except Dao Lung Uyghurs. sing like this. They sing this way from sunrise to sunset, from ancient times until now. The desert represents the harshness of life, while the oasis is the cradle. The oasis, surrounded by the vast yellow sands and stones, are the isolated islands in the ocean, but survive unyieldingly with blossoms of colorful flowers. Mukum is the best company in the boundless Gobi, the sea of sand. Like oasis in the desert and music in one's life, Mukum will always nurture the soul of Uyghurs as the nectar granted from heaven.